Hello, and welcome to another episode of, actually. Today on, actually, we're gonna be talking about flanking. That's right, the optional rule that makes everyone mad. To start out, here's what the DMG says. When a creature and at least one of its allies are adjacent to an enemy, and on opposite sides or corners of the enemy's space, they flank that enemy, and each of them has advantage on melee attack rolls against that enemy. A creature cannot flank an enemy it can't see, and it also cannot flank while it is incapacitated. Now, those are the rules for playing on a square grid, not a hex grid. There are different qualifiers for hexes, blah 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 blah. But the important thing to note is that this specifically addresses if you use miniatures and is not a rule that was designed to be implemented in Theater of Mind games. So, now that you know the rule, here's why it's debated. A lot of people think that this undercuts other mechanics in the game by enabling anyone who is in melee to get advantage on a roll, which is otherwise relatively difficult to do. There's virtually no downside like you would see with a barbarian's reckless attack. Some argue that it gives everyone pack tactics, which isn't quite the same, but whatever. What it really boils down to, though, is that this rule is optional. And you don't have to have it at your table. And if you do, you should establish what exactly the rules are before you go into it. The other side of the argument is that flanking enables some interesting mechanics in combat. It makes players more conscious of where they're placing their characters. It also enables your enemies to be able to use flanking rules against you. The other main thing that people complain about with this is something called the Conga Line, which is exactly what the name says. Essentially, one person runs up to their enemy, and then another person comes and flanks behind that. But then the enemy's ally comes and flanks behind them. But then one of your allies comes and flanks behind you. So on and so forth until you're in this weird line of everyone getting flanking rules, so everyone gets advantage on the roll. I think the easy way to avoid that is to just talk to people in your game. Or just not implement flanking rules at all. Have them be limited to specific creatures or specific factions of people. Or say screw it and put it in your game, and who cares if there's a conga line in combat sometimes. That can make for some interesting encounters. When it really boils down to it, it's your game, it's your table. Play how you want, just make sure everyone's on the same page. I'm sure lots of people have opinions on this. If you would like to share your opinion, there is a comment section whether you are for or against flanking, and I would love to hear it. This has been another episode of Actually. See you all later. Bye! Thanks for watching my video. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and tell me what you thought in the comments below.